In the winter of 2022, I heard a song that changed my whole perspective on what good music is. When I first heard it, it sounded like something you'd hear in the movies. It was jaw-droppingly good, at least for me. At the time, I really only listened to just basic music, if any music at all. Basic coworker music. My taste in music was awful, and in part was because I wasn't allowed to listen to a good amount of songs until I was a certain age. I had somewhat strict parents, but as I got older, I just began to listen to whatever I heard from stores or movies. So if you were to look at my playlist from 2018, it wasn't good. I'm pretty sure one of my top artists was like Imagine Dragons or something. I never wanted to listen to rap or hip hop because I I could never see myself fitting that category of someone who listens to that type of music. Everyone in my school that was considered, I guess, cool would listen to that, and I just didn't fit into that. But I gave it a try and would never listen to it on my own time. It was only when I was around other people. At this point of my life, I saw myself as an outcast, a weird guy, if you will. And as the years went on, I began to find my genre of music. And though I don't necessarily have an exact label for it, well I do now, but I do know my first favorite artist ever. It was Kuko. His music was nice, slow. I'm not good at explaining music, but it was different and I enjoyed it a lot. It was 2019 when I first started listening to him and began to separate from. I avoided trying to listen to rap or hip hop. And during this, I found many artists that I enjoyed. Another more popular one was Biba Doobie. But alas, 3 years later, I came across this song called Let You Break My Heart Again by Leve. Yeah. And now the only artists I listen to and have on my playlist are the Marias, Leve, Men I Trust, Claro, Faye Webster, and sometimes Biba Doobie. Peak performative male type of taste right there. I think it was 2024 when it really took off, this whole performative male trend. And at first it was a joke, and then the joke became like more real. I don't even know how to explain it. I just started to see these performative people everywhere. Growing up, I avoided telling people the music I listened to because, like I said, I was odd back then and I was aware of that. So I had a separate playlist of mainstream music that I would show people if they ever asked what type of music I listened to because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed that I would look, weird and be judged for liking this weird music. And fast forward, now that every single one of my artists is now labeled as performative, I feel like I'm back in middle school hiding my taste in music. Well, here I am ranting about it on the internet. I try not to care about what people think of me, but even though I say I don't care, sometimes things get to me. And though I don't get angry or sad about things, I do fear that if and when someone tries to ask me, "Hey, what music do you listen to?" and I tell them my top 3 artists, they'll leave that conversation thinking, "Oh, he's one of those." But there's so much history to why I love the music that I love. How and when I discovered artists, what memories I attribute to certain songs. There's so much more to music in my life than just an image to show. Well, there is no image, at least not for me. I never went to these artists in the hopes of making friends or to look good in front of others. Actually, it was quite the opposite. I began listening to Leve, to Men I Trust, and Claro because I didn't want to be performative. I didn't like rap, I didn't like hip hop, and the people who fit in like those things, and now I do like those genres. I do enjoy most music out there, but the only artists that I listen to on repeat are those that I listed before, because to me that music slaps. That music is so good. I still remember listening to Bewitched for the first time. I felt like I was floating. After high school, I lost like 99% of my human interactions and would just constantly be meeting new people in life. But it was only my close friends that I felt comfortable to talk about the music I liked. And I tried to put them on, but I think only Leve and Biba Doobie stuck with them. And I remember they began to show me their recommendations. Gio, from that story where two of my old friends got outed for being pedos, he caught me listening to Faye Webster and told me that he just got put onto her by his girlfriend. And then we started talking about that. And though I do think the whole performative male trend meme is dead, it's only a matter of time till Leve drops another album. See what I did there? And that sounds like I'm dreading my favorite artist dropping better music, but I'm not, I swear. Recently, Maria Zardoya, I think that's how you say it, from the Marias, dropped her own solo album, and it sounds amazing. I love it. I haven't heard people talk about it though, and the ones who have for some reason don't like it. At least that's what I've seen. I don't know, but I've been putting it on nonstop, and I think for the past week that's like all I've been listening to, just this album on repeat. But maybe I'm just overthinking it, and nobody really cares, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you like what you like, you know? What is it? To each their own. But it would be nice to have someone to talk to about music, how we found certain songs and what they mean for us and why we like them. And all this to say that ever since I climbed that mountain and saw where I wanted to build my base, I've been meaning to make that black sanded beach Leve talks about in Forget Me Not, which if you don't know, they are these beautiful, beautiful beaches in Iceland that, well, here's some pictures, but it just looks so nice to me, and I've been playing around in creative to see which blocks really work here, and I ended up going with this pattern, and I only noticed this after I looked up an Iceland beach, and apparently the rocks you see it's like actually basalt, which is a block that I'm using, which I mean, I don't know, that was kind of cool. But also I did some more mining off camera and got full netherite. But yeah, that's enough blabbering for me. All right, bye-bye.